so mellow. Oh, oh. Mellow. It's so mellow.
Welcome to the Friday Nights. I'm Jason Sandberg. Ali, Phyllis, I had a fantastic week. Look at what came in the mail. Tin Soldier, Relentless Tin Soldier #3. Looking forward to reading this. Now, Nicholas does not live in Minnesota, and I asked him about this because I could obviously see the Prince reference. And in issues 1 and 2 is obviously set in Minneapolis. He's like, no, I just like snow. I don't get it. He's a Texas boy, apparently. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I'll give you a book report when I'm done. And cool. I don't recall backing or paying for the campaign medallion, the challenge coin. But he sent this to me, and this is there's a lot of glare here, but this is a super cool challenge coin of the Relentless Tin Soldier. So I'm grateful, Nicholas. Thank you for that. I was digging through the short box this week looking for something, and I found this little thing. I had forgotten about this. This is a one shot that DC did with Paul Pope. They did a series of these where they give a creator, they say, hey, you got 40 pages, 30 pages. It's all you, do whatever you want. This is great. Good stuff. There's an OMAC story. There's a Batman and Robin story. There's some slice of life and some autobiographical stuff. I think it's pretty affordable on eBay, maybe $6. So I highly recommend you go hunt this down and get yourself some Paul Pope. I'm obviously hard at work on Jupiter issue 2. Jupiter issue 1 is in demand on Fun My Comic and Indiegogo. and we are over the $9,800 mark. So we're on our way to 10K. Looking forward to cracking that milestone this year, and more Jupiter in 2025. Craig, how was your week?
Good. We got at some point. I don't know. I'm almost tempted like to grab like you got a retail tier, right, for $45 or something to that effect. Yeah, if you can get closer to that, we might bring that on, and I might just push you over. So even if you can get just to that $45 window, I think I would take it from there and fling it across the room.
You're saying, wait, were you saying if I make a special tier, you'll back a special tier?
No. You've already got a retail. You've already got a retail bundle,
okay.
don't you, for 45?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can get to that, I promise you, the next Friday nights, I'll send the campaign into the 5 figures.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, all right. If I got to jump ahead a couple spaces on the shoots and ladder board, and then you'll push me a little bit down. You'll push me up the ladder or something like that.
So Jason, is there a specific date, like May 30th?
No, I'm the most disorganized man you've ever met. My only goal. What's that?
You got to give yourself a deadline.
Don't believe in deadlines, man. In order to be creative, you got to have no stress. And so I don't have any deadlines. I've got no budget. Nobody tells me what to do. Nobody tells Steve McQueen which side of the road to drive on. Okay.
But we've gotten out of him. He plans on launching Jupiter this summer, June, July. So I'm guessing he's hoping to hit 10 figures by June, July.
I can do it.
Yeah.
But Craig,
Yes.
I'm so glad you're not in California. I'm so glad you're up there in Canada where there's no issues. Like, how was your week? Anything interesting happened this week in Canada?
Besides our prime minister announcing his intent to resign at some point, no, it's just funny watching. They're all polishing the brass on the Titanic, so like they suspended our government. So Trump's coming in in a week? We don't have a sitting government to even talk to him.
A week. Almost exactly.
10 days.
Our government's on vacation for 3 months because Trudeau's party is figuring out who's going to be the next one to steer the Titanic as the iceberg of an impending election.
So they're going to pay these tariffs for 3 months and then negotiate.
That's right.
All right, that's right. Smart tactic.
Don't worry, you'll be the 52nd state in no time.
Yeah. Oh, I have no problem with that. I mean, where I am, it's debatable because I'm what would have been the 14th colony. Is that right? During the Revolutionary War. So there's two takes of it on here. One is we were trying to send our government representatives down to sign the Declaration of Independence, and the British had garrisons blocking those legislative bodies. And then the other story is we didn't want to sign it and we had no intention of going there. So it's whatever side of that piece of history you want.
Isn't there even an election fraud aspect to that story?
Yeah.
Is there
well, we welcome you back like the prodigal son.
That's right.
Ali, if Canada does join the United States, should they get 2 senators or should they get 2 senators for every province? Like, how should this break down? What's fair?
It should be treated like California because you're getting California the second version 2. That's exactly what you're
California. There's nothing left in California, man. There's nothing there. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's
all the politicians are going to leave California because there's no one left to tax.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying treat it the same way because you're basically absorbing same views. Very much what California and Canada have is they do it first here in Canada and then they brag about it in California that let's implement it because it works so well. So they
like a college campus.
Yeah. Exactly.
I want to amend what I said though.
Yes.
Okay.
2 senators, as long as they're men, and women aren't allowed to vote.
Interesting. I'm going to show off what I did. So my mail service, is working again.
What?
I got this here from John's Lawn Box.
Nice.
Here. I got 2 different covers, and that's Renzo Rodriguez art on the inside. And if you open her up, the line art is like the work. It's so clean, like you can tell.
Good stuff.
Every single one. Like those are not rushed pages. Somebody sat there and loved every one of those pages.
Good stuff.
But beautiful book. Enjoying that. And then I also got, I think everyone got this. Look at this.
Yes.
Boom, 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 boom. Did you get all these ones?
He sent me 2 different covers. So I don't have that middle cover. Whatever that middle cover is, I do not have that one.
See, everyone
Those
loves
interiors are very pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Oren's
a
the
master.
Yeah, we were lucky. He was a guest on our show, and he drew an original piece while he was. Well, he's always drawing, so it's not like he drew an original piece for us. No, he just doesn't stop. He's a nonstop creative machine.
Just beautiful.
But, yeah, beautiful book. So those are what I have to show for the week.
Yeah, he's like Steve Rude, where every line is like just right.
Yeah. So I'm trying to read all of it. It's just the books keep coming, and I just keep getting older.
So, Ali, how was your week? Anything eventful happen? Anything you're reading or excited about?
Well, I'm kind of old school, so I spend most of my time reading books without pictures.
Okay.
I
So
used to do that.
currently,
Actually, technically, old school is looking at paintings on the cave. That's like the true old
oh,
school.
that's fair. I'm not OG old school, I guess.
That's Archie Bear old school.
Yeah.
What that is.
I'm reading a book without pictures. It's called Lamb. It's by Christopher Moore. And it's really funny. I used to read more depressing, like supernatural kind of stuff, but I moved on to reading satire, and sometimes dark comedy. And this is a book. It's called Lamb, the Gospel According to Biff, Christ's Childhood Pal. And it is supposed to be like filling in all the missing information. It's not blasphemous. I just like he's done a lot of historical research in it, which is cool. But then he's also just relentlessly funny. A lot of his stuff is that way. He's done like sort of pseudo retellings of Shakespeare stuff from the point of view of a fool, like a jester.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I've been reading, because I can't afford comics. So I'm reading boring chapter books like a peasant.
I've still got a few that I've said I'm going to read some point in my lifetime that I've got to pull off the shelf. And
well, I'll read anything. Like I constantly am reading. I've read every manual I get. I'm probably the only person that reads every tech manual. I read shampoo bottles. I just read constantly everything I have to. So that's why I have a huge library, and I have to be reading all the time, even if it's something I've read a million times before. I have to read it. So if I'm not writing or editing, I'm usually reading.
Very cool. Very cool. Digital Aboriginal. How was your week? What are you into? Are you doing any projects this weekend? What's going on?
Oh, I'm still trying to get recover from relaxing way too much on vacation, but I'm back in the cabin. I've got the creepy owl lamp.
Yeah, is that like an Illuminati thing, or
we
what
gotta
is
look at
that?
33 1/3.
Oh my gosh, this is just.
It's cute.
I don't know.
What are you
This is-
talking about? That thing's adorable.
I really need to make the eyes light up. I'll do
you
like
can put googly eyes on it. Like
oh, there you go.
Allie, I've
How is
heard.
that creepy? It's cute.
Allie, I've heard of dog whistles. I've heard of virtue signaling. What Jared's doing here? What is that?
What? Talking about his awesome lamp?
It's the opposite of virtue signaling. I'm trying to provoke conspiracy.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm
Right.
sorry.
It's-
I'm ruining your conspiracy by saying how cute it is.
Well, I
I'm-
just
I'm-
realized as the show was starting that it says 33 1/3. Of course,
Yeah.
it's actually referring to a record store that's closed now, not Ottawa.
I'm actually envious because it's less to dust.
Yeah.
Um,
So
it's
I'm back at fixing up the kitchen. So I'm putting in the ductwork and everything.
Nice.
Should we turn this into a DIY show? That's what I watch on
We
YouTube.
could. So Craig's whole approach with this YouTube channel is cover every market, across every market demographic.
That's
So we
right.
got the comic books, we got the current events, we got the news, we got the conspiracy theories, we got the do-it-yourself. Allie sometimes will do woodworking. So this is going to be like a fantastic.
We're
this
gonna
is-
bring back Atlantis though.
yeah,
My strategy
that's
is to
Chris.
cast a wider net, even if that net turns into a log jam. At some point, it'll have an effect.
Oh, and I'll talk about. So I'm listening. I don't know if that
Yeah.
counts as reading.
No, that counts.
My wife doesn't think it's valid reading.
What does she know?
Theodore Darwin.
I've met her. What does she know?
I agree with your wife. It's not.
I don't know. Some people.
Wait.
can't-
So
they can't.
It's stimulating different parts of your brain.
True. Yeah.
But it is a good approach to books. I
It's
can tell you,
different.
like my wife now works in a major retail book chain,
Mhm.
and audio books are huge, audio and digital. They have like a reading device
Yeah,
that people buy.
guess what
and you
else?
just-
Guess what else is huge?
what's that?
Illiteracy.
This is true.
You're talking about the U.S.
It's true.
Could be related. I don't know.
So Life at the Bottom is the book, and it's really dark stuff. It's he's an English psychologist, I believe, who was working within the system and maybe still does. And it's a lot of anecdotes that are very convincing as far as, you know, what basically how the class stratification is held by the social programs. And I don't know, it's interesting to me because I came from poverty. We were on welfare for a little bit. So
Yeah, I've said that too.
true.
I mean, I came from a poor neighborhood. It's incredible how I didn't get arrested, but like a lot of my youth ties into the fact that I grew up in gangland. I grew up where like brand new immigrants would come and it would all be government housing, and how quickly that took away all the local houses and everyone just sold and got the hell out of there. But surprisingly, I went along with people and did things. Nothing I can be indicted for now, you know, nothing felonious. But in any case, I joined the reserves, and luckily in the reserves, there's a lot of Metro Toronto police. So they knew where I was. So at the same time, I'm doing stupid shit. Their cars are following me, and I'm seeing people I'm in the army with, and they're like behind a windshield.
This sounds like a sequel to Clockwork Orange.
But they kept saying, like, you better join the regular army. You better join the regular army. And then when 9/11 happened, like, it was like, shit, I'll do a 20-year contract. Hell yeah, right? And then fast forward 20 years from 9/11, you get to where we are now, and I retired with a nice pension and a house and a family. And, you know, thank God that kept me out of jail. And then they kept me out of jail. But absolutely, I get what you're saying with the class system where, yeah, it depends on where you grow up and your surroundings.
I didn't think we were going to promote socialism on your program, man.
So now you're serving a life sentence stuck with me. I don't know what I talk about a series of unfortunate poor choices, but here you are. You're stuck.
That's right.
You're stuck.
How did I get to this place?
Speaking of who we're stuck with, who's in the chat tonight?
Yes, for sure. So, yeah, our show's doing great, by the way. Thank you everyone who shows up and tunes in. There's 22 currently watching, and thank you so much for joining us for Friday. First up, I got here is Hojo. He says, "I am
Hojo.
first." Mark that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Hojo doing a drive-by in the Mythicals machine. Go back, Mythicals 1, 2, and 3.
That scared me because it looked like I used my TV as my monitor, and it looked like my TV's save screensaver. So I thought that it messed up, and I was like, oh,
Nice.
it's okay now.
What is your screensaver? Now I'm curious.
It's just like the Roku TV thing that like
yeah,
Stuff.
that has all the hidden movies in it and stuff. I don't know how to change it.
it's fine. It's fine. I like that. They got the King Kong in there and all that.
So I was at a really important business meeting. It's all hands. It's all executives, and one of the guys disappears in a meeting room, and we had LG TV is what we project on, and it was falling back to just the LG channels. And it was, the guy comes out, he's like, "What? Why are you watching porn?" And it had gone to something that looked like I don't know, like something at the source that involves polygamy or polyamorism. It was very bad.
Cool.
I when I'm doing a presentation at work, I log out of my Google account. So when I because I have a YouTube channel for work. So I log out of everything so that the recommend videos don't show like comic book stuff and like, you know, so
nobody knows you're a nerd.
Well, they know, but they think I'm a different kind of nerd.
When I'm stealing from YouTube and I'm clipping videos and audio and stuff, every now and then, like that last screen will show the kind of stuff that you're watching and recommending. It's like, oh, I don't want people seeing the stuff that I watch.
So on the subject of being a nerd, am I alone in the group here as far as not feeling 100% nerd ever? Like I feel like there's about 30% of me that doesn't fit in with the nerds, and
I feel like I truly feel like a Renaissance man, and so that means that a part of me is a nerd, another part of me is scientific, all that kind of stuff. So I feel well rounded, but
Yeah.
not afraid to talk about comic books.
Yeah.
No, I always got along with everybody. Like I always relate to, like, say our indie scene is very much like a high school cafeteria, and you've got the different tables and the different cliques that are, associate, and certain tables don't talk to certain tables, whatever the hell's going on. I was always a kid who just came in and was selling dope to all of them. So that's basically.
Well, I'm in tech, so I just know when they meet the new tech guy, he's going to come in and solve problems for them. They're like, oh crap, what kind of tech guy will this be? And they're pleasantly surprised because I can actually talk to them and talk about books and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I was always like made fun of for bringing comics with me all throughout my military career. But then even the people making fun of me, as soon as that died down, they would be the ones, hey, can I borrow that? Hey, can I read that? Like, yeah, sure. But I'm gonna continue with the chat.
Yep.
So I have Hojo's comment up there. He said that Ali tried to warn, but I'm guessing that's the new interview with the vampire. I've been sort of cycling past that. Is that what he's talking about? Yeah.
That's a good decision. It is.
Okay.
Is that a remake?
I have. They want it to be a retelling of the original, where they framed it to be. And long story short, because I have hours and hours of me talking about this. Okay. But long story short, what they've done is they took the real story that Anne Rice wrote, and they said, we're gonna have our characters tell you that that's not the real story, that we were lying to you the whole time, and this is the real one. That Louis, who was Brad Pitt's character in the movie, in case you didn't read the books, that the whole time he told that story, he was a big old fat liar, and he made himself older than he was, and whiter than he was, and straight, and from there, and they moved it up to during COVID. So they mentioned that in the show, which just is annoying, and then they just made it super duper obnoxiously gay every moment. So you watch it and you feel gross. Like, you're just like, ugh.
So if a vampire, if I got COVID and the vampire like eats off of my neck, did they get COVID too?
They do not address that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Is the vampire wearing a mask?
No, they're quarantining. That's why they're doing the interview, because they're
prophylactics on his fangs.
How could that movie with Brad Pitt, which is Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, and that
Kristen Dunst.
Yeah,
Kirsten Dunst.
How could that be a made up story when there's a sequel? Isn't there like a sequel? Is that
like a B movie sequel to it?
No, there was a movie with the actress.
Are you Queen talking about Queen of the Damned?
Yeah. Wasn't it the sequel?
Aaliyah.
It's sort of a sequel in that it's not related at all. So Anne Rice wrote the screenplay for the first one, but she did not want Queen of the Damned made. She said it'll never happen. So the guy from Korn decided that he was just going to write basically his own thing that was just different enough to make it, and then put modern like goth music into it, and that's what that is.
Okay, got it.
But it's still better than the show.
Is there any modern goth that's any good? I really don't know. My daughter's kind of goth.
Looking for something to recommend.
Yeah, I'm not loving everything. It sounds a little like K-pop and goth fused together.
What? No. Not really. You kind of have to pick and choose at this point. Like, I really like Motionless in White, which is like a goth band, but they're super woke and they have a lot of really inappropriate lyrics. So, when my kid wants to like look into darker stuff like that, I just go through lyrical content and just insanely do that. And I say, don't watch music videos, don't look into any of these people. And that's fine. But an interesting thing is steampunk has its own music genre now. So if you look into that, a lot of that is actually pretty anti-woke, like not hyper political, but it's anti-woke, and it focuses just on the music and making it sound good, which used to be the standard, where the rule is make it funny, the rule is make it good, make it scary, whatever it is.
So Australian punk, I think there's some good things like the Chats, the Smoko, and I mean, just brilliant stuff.
Yeah, I was playing. What's it called? Oh, boy, I can't remember the name. 21 Children is the name of a band out of Soweto, Africa. They're bringing back a huge punk scene in Africa. Like I said, 21 Children. Look them up. Well, a great band. Yeah, it's old school punk all over again, and it's in 2024. It's great to listen to. But what you call it? Vulcan. Vulcan says happy Friday, dudes. He has family obligations, so he won't be able to make the live show, but he'll catch us in replay. And I always upload this show, by the way, in replay. Any mistakes I make, I usually trim them out. Like if I don't do the video.
This whole show is a mistake.
Right, yeah. But if you catch it in replay, I do clean it up. Sometimes I clean it up a little bit. He also says he hopes Jackknife is back and okay. Yeah, I don't.
Jackknife cashed out his Bitcoin. He's on an island in Tahiti. We'll never hear from him again.
Yeah. He's like Morgan Freeman. We got to go find the puzzle and unravel it.
Yeah. Speaking, I did get a postcard from Jackknife, didn't
I? Oh, nice. Right. And then you were asking if that was Dead Milkman. Yeah. I've been listening to Dead Milkman again. So.
I may have to. I don't own any of them anymore. But the Big Lizard, Beelzebubba, Metaphysical Graffiti, and Richard, not Dick. I had those, and Digital Aboriginal and I were in college together. There was a house that was called the Rail Dog, and because that was a phone number. We're not going to give out the area code because we don't want people to try to call the Rail Dog.
That's right.
But there was a group of us, about 7 or 8, and we were like regulars on the weekend, just hanging out, blowing off steam, and we'd take turns putting stuff on the CD player, and it gets to be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and been a long week, and you're hanging out with your college buddies, and you're half in the bag. Nothing is better than kicking back and listening to Dead Milkman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was telling Jason, my Dead Milkman experiences involve pulling vehicles up to the river, and we would just blast it on various Dead Milkman songs, and we go fishing on mushrooms. Yeah, spent a lot of time doing that.
Like Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
My son pretends to like it. He's a skater, so it goes with the image.
I had never seen that music before. I thought it was like something you guys put together yourselves.
No. Well, sometimes it is. Yeah. I my intros, I'll sometimes borrow it. Find bands. Sometimes guests that come on, they actually have bands. Like we had Jesse Snyder on here, and Chris had a band, so he had a. So every now and then we do have guests who have their own videos too, which is kind of cool. Philbo Baggins said he saw Dead Milkman live opening for the Red Hot Chili Peppers in '89.
I'm sorry for your loss, Philbo.
Justin Belmont.
Belmont's gonna be a dad pretty soon.
I have a thing. I have a thing with Anthony Kiedis. He is my nemesis.
Yeah, he is kind of creepy. Like, yeah, that age gap that he's got going on is
No, that's not it. I don't care about that.
Okay.
It's that he has a lisp that he refuses to fix.
Maybe that's how he has his sound though. Might be unique to his singing, maybe.
No, because if you listen to the studio albums, there's no lisp. They cut it out, or he can sing normal. But then when he's live, you can hear the stupid lisp. But you're a millionaire, Anthony. Just freaking fix it.
Sort yourself out. Yeah, got it. How old is he now? Anyway, it's in his 60s now, isn't he? I think something like that.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
Freaking Anthony Kiedis. What a jerk.
If you listen to audiobook, does that count as having read it? That's a good.
No.
So, yeah. It would be good though. The things I have on as background music, like background sound while I'm doing things all the time, I could be getting through a lot of books if I just put the audiobooks on and listen to those.
I can concentrate on them, and it feels just like reading. But I think most people can't. They just, it's like a play.
Mm-hmm. So that's where our chats with so far.
All right. So the only thing I know that happened this week was your Castro prime minister guy says I'm going to quit later, and then the people in California paid taxes, insurance for decades and decades and decades. And then when the fire happens, there's no organization and there's no water.
No
Those are the
plan.
only two things I know. So what are the top 3 news items of the week here?
Believe it or not, we didn't make that one of them. Should have been, but a lot of this show's already in the can. Basically Tuesday, Wednesday. So our first topic here comes from New York Post. Phone calls make Gen Z anxious, and a new college course aims to help them conquer their fears with answering the telephone. I don't know if it's telephobia or telephonophobia, but yeah, that's what it is.
I think it's like obligation phobia. I think they feel like put upon this, so that they feel obligated to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. Ali, have you noticed this trend? What are your thoughts?
I think that the parents of these kids have seriously failed them. But also, Gen Z is old enough to. It says they're in college now. Gen Z is old enough to kind of step up and stop this. So we were talking about earlier what we were like in school. Well, I was a huge loser who got, I got beat up all the time. I had no friends. And then when I was 11, I decided I want friends. So I'm going to go into 6th grade with the mindset of I'm going to change how I am so that I'm socially accepted. Maybe not to everyone, but I'll make some friends. So I started walking upright instead of with my head down. It meant less reading, but it meant I looked more open. I started talking louder instead of mumbling, being just a bunch of little tiny things that made changes. And if I can do that all by myself at age 11, you freaking idiots who apparently don't understand how to talk to each other can maybe start exposure therapying yourselves instead of making your parents pay or going into debt to take a stupid freaking college course run by, I don't know, someone who calls themselves a therapist to brainwash you into probably something stupid about being on the phone. So when you answer the phone, make sure that the first thing you do is say, "Hello, I am person. What are your pronouns? I don't feel comfortable talking for X amount of minutes." I'm sure it'll just be exhausting for anyone to talk to them. So maybe just realize that sometimes a phone call is better. A phone call can be short. It's fine. I think text messaging is more anxiety inducing than a phone call because you get no context at all.
You can't hear the
text.
voice.
So yeah, it's super easy to misunderstand people. There's a lot of stuff that's just not a problem when you're making a phone call. One of my close friends, when he died, what my other friend did, how she told me was, "Hey, he killed himself." And I was like, "What?" I thought it was a joke because that's not how you tell someone that.
No.
So, yeah, toughen up, you freaking idiots. That's what I would have to say. It's stupid. You're all stupid. If you can't use a freaking phone, maybe just go to an island and be alone with yourselves on your stupid tablets and I don't know, whatever the kids are using today.
So when they use text, I've got a couple of Gen Zers, and it's so terse that in mixed company with some of their friends over, they were ribbing me. They were like, "My dad is so lame that he puts punctuation in his texts," and it was the most hilarious thing possible to them. And ever since then, I get the WYA, and I'll be like, "Well, thank you for asking. I am at the iPhone store presently," and put a lot complex sentences in there.
Some purple prose in your texting.
I'm hoping that it'll wear off on them.
So DA, I don't really think this is, as a grown man, I don't really think this is a problem, but I do recognize that it's debilitating for them, and to be debilitated and panic stricken. I think that's real. I don't think it's a real problem, but I do notice in the news article here that the solution is a college course. DA, can you find any example in history where a college course fixed a problem?
Well, I mean, I have to say there's a spin here on this. I mean, so there's a David Allen has this business book, and I can be I put on my corporate costume and do that, so I've got a lot of exposure to that, and it's called Getting Things Done. And one of the first things you do on your computer is you turn off all notifications, even the ones that pop up. And then you just go through a cycle of checking things and just don't let it distract you. So it could be that they're actually discovering how to regain attention. Maybe it's just spun in some different way. Go ahead.
I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, though, when we talk about they have anxiety over phone calls. So I've talked to people that work with customer service and stuff and hiring them as employees. They're the same way. They don't want to engage customers. They don't want to interact or talk. They're absolutely petrified to have customers come up to them and want to scurry off and hide. It's an actual problem with social interaction. And I'm curious what the statistics are. Sorry for a sec. We used to hang around bowling alleys and pool halls and the mall and the movies, right? All of us when we grew up, right? They're not doing that either. Apparently.
Highway rest stops.
Right. Well,
no,
yeah.
they're all in Discord, playing video games with each other. But this says I'm looking at the article, and this says that it's in Britain, like in the UK. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if maybe it also has something to do with like the British hyper polite, like the politeness of the society, because it says
the phone tax.
They delay. Yeah, they delay phone calls. They avoid making phone calls, and they're super distressed, and like it looks like they get dizzy and stuff. I wonder if it's maybe just they don't know how to be polite anymore.
That could be.
And that
Mr. Rogers,
they're super polite.
Mr. Rogers will fix that.
Yeah.
To answer your question, though, didn't we both learn Mandarin in a sociology class together? It was like a pidgin English.
I don't know. Can you speak Mandarin or no? Is that one of those things?
No, I'm so as an artist, I'm so visual. The way I'm hardwired, I tried Spanish, French, and even sign language. It wouldn't stick. Like I could pass the test. Once the test was gone, once I passed the test, all flushed out. I'm not an audible person. I can't learn another. I mean, maybe if you drop me off in the jungle, I could learn a language, but I struggled with that. So Jared, DA, I think that was somebody else.
Oh, okay. You can call me Jared.
Wait, so are you saying you can read Mandarin, you just can't speak it?
No, I was joking. We had the most. I mean, this guy was straight out of mainland China, and was teaching a course, and it was like one of the largest.
Wait! You're talking about the calculus professor?
No, it's sociology. It's sociology because it was Max Weber, and it was impossible to understand. I deal with accents well. I am very. But often people are like asking me, "What did that guy just say?" And I'm
so just to set the record straight. I'm for pluralism and I'm for individuality. But if I'm paying you $100 a credit to take a college course, I should be able to understand what the hell you're saying. I'm the customer, right?
We got a guy who's buying in to run for prime minister who he's straight out of India. You can't hear anything he says. He's not bilingual or nothing.
Perfect. Like, no one knows if he's lying or not. It's great. It's great. Brilliant.
Good luck.
That's 4D chess right there.
Well, they're politicians, so they're lying.
That's true. That's true. Okay, Craig. So Craig, in your mind's eye, do you see like what looks like a phone bank with the kids like talking to each other, or are they like randomly calling people, and then like to break the ice, do they teach them how to like prank call? Like, how does this work?
Yeah, you break them out of this. Well, like
I bet they just give them like templates. They AI generate templates, and they're like, just read this out whenever you're on the phone.
And next thing you know, they're selling penny stocks.
I wonder if we can have a business opportunity out of this, like OnlyPhones.
Penny stocks, yeah.
I like it.
Outsource your phone calls.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, you got it, kids. You got that student loan to pay off. Come on, boiler room.
Right. Oh boy.
All right, Craig. What is topic number 2?
Yes. Yeah, I feel bad. Good luck, Gen Z. That's all I gotta say. The planet will soon be yours.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So our next one comes from UPI. Peeled bananas left on English street corner each month vex the locals. So what's happening?
What is with England? Stop this.
Yeah,
You can blame Jason.
that wasn't
by the
planned.
way.
That wasn't planned. This is just synchronicity. This is not planned.
No, I
Jason-
mean England needs to stop this.
Oh yeah, England. Yeah, John Stuart Mill needs to. John Stuart Mill needs to. The clouds need to part, and rays of sunlight need to come down, and the ghost of John Stuart Mill with a flaming sword needs to come and conquer England.
England is
England.
incarcerating its citizens now for thought crimes, so
Yeah,
they
it's
are
pretty crazy.
working.
Oh yay! But I bet they're still not allowed to open carry spoons and potato peelers.
I am gonna make a comment here. The current king is King Charles, and if you look at the career path of Charles I and Charles II, and you look at what's happening in England right now, I think they made a mistake in naming that kid Charles. I don't think it's going to end well, but we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, he does. He's got cancer right now. I think he's been going through a lot of treatments and stuff. So, yeah. Any case, yeah, getting to a dark place with England. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Should we liberate England too? I don't know.
You
Is it a toss?
first. You first,
Yeah,
then
Canada
Greenland. Then,
first.
yep.
Canada,
there's
then
it.
Greenland, then
Got it.
England. Yeah.
Okay.
The Windsor
Any-
family.
Anything I can do to help. All right. So, in any case, with this article, what it is they're doing is they're taking platters of bananas. So they're peelless bananas. They'll put them all on the platter, like you see, and then just leaving them random places with a note. I'd love to know what the note says. I couldn't find that. But my question when I saw this right away was, what's happening with the banana peels, and are they weaponizing those? Not so much the platters of bananas.
Is there
A
anything in
monthly gift for wildlife or a religious offering?
paganism?
I think it's probably just like some kids trolling who were just like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put bananas around and nobody's gonna know what it is.
You got to give props to the copy editor. Vex, you know, it's a dual use of the word, and I think that's the clue here.
I think that note is the sign that says respectfully no more bananas. I don't think that's the note that they left.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. That's like your neighbor coming up on your door and saying, you know, you park like a moron or park better, and leaving a thing on your door or whatever it is. Yeah.
So in terms of
I like how British it is though. Please respectfully no more bananas. The uncollected plates and rotting bananas leave such a mess. Wishing a happy new year to you all. Like, that's very nice.
Ellie,
I
that
feel
was
like,
very
get your freaking bananas away. I hate
Ellie-
bananas. They smell weird.
Ellie, that was very Mary Poppins of you. Thank you. That was wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
So I've watched CSI, and I know that they can tell how, based upon how brown the banana is, because these are unpeeled. I know they can know how long it was sitting out. So they can backtrack, and they can figure out when those bananas were dropped. And with all the cameras there, I think they could find out who these people are, but they don't want to.
That's
How do
only
they
if.
not know when there's cameras everywhere?
Yeah, that's true. Britain's one of the most under CCTV surveillance countries in the world. Yeah, valid point.
So this news article really did pop out at us during our pre-show meeting, and so our crack investigative team did do a short little investigative report. Craig, can you bring up the first slide?
I do, and I even got a trailer for this segment. How
Nice.
exciting is that?
Nice. This is
How's that?
Allie, when Vaughn told you to go hang out with the Friday nights, were you expecting this level of production value?
I was not.
16 bits. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But
All right.
I'm impressed.
Yeah,
I'm impressed with the animation. I gotta say, at least it wasn't CGI.
That's
All
Donkey
right.
Kong Country too. Yes.
The price hasn't changed in 13 years. Sweet.
All right. This is a Friday night investigative report on the topic of bananas. Next slide. Bananas have been in the news a lot this year. Probably the biggest banana news item was the fact that the delusional modern artist taped the banana to the wall, and some crypto dude bro bought it for $6,200,000 and then ate it. Allie, what was your take on that news? Did you hear about that story?
I did. And I believe that it had already like rotted once, and they just put up another banana.
Mm-hmm.
And then after he ate it, they just put up another one. So, but that's beside the point. I think that most modern art is just, I mean, it's obviously like socialist propaganda, but also, I think it's just money laundering.
Yep.
So I don't
They're
really
just
care.
laughing at us at this point. Like, it's not even the same banana or the same duct tape that's being sold. It's
DA, do you think that the top market value? You think the market is stabilized at $6,200,000 a banana?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if they're rotating them, I mean, does the next one? Can we assume it sells for 6.2? I mean, did they leave it where the guy bought it, or did he cut out the wall and take it home?
The market's cleared. The price has been set.
well, it's one of those weird things where it's provenance that's being sold, not so much the art. So the guy who owns the provenance of the banana and the duct tape, he's free to sell the provenance whenever he wants. But when he does that, it's a completely different banana and a piece of duct tape.
Brilliant observation, Craig, because that means that more bananas could be sold at $6,200,000. So let's see how we can leverage that. Next slide. All right, Allie, DA has known me for almost 30 years, and he knows that even back in the late 80s, early 90s, I had what was described as FDADD. Now, you've heard of ADD, right? I have federal deficit attention deficit disorder. I can't stop thinking about the federal debt. When the investigative team was preparing the slide, the debt was $36 trillion. So I took my money calculator and I said, if we can find how many crypto dude bros do we need to find that will buy a banana for $6,200,000 to clear the national debt? And it was 5,800,000 crypto dude bros. Allie, are there enough millionaires and billionaires to buy these bananas?
I don't think so.
DA, what do you think?
But I do know if they gave every single person on Earth $1 million, then everything would be solved.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think another 4 years of that other party, and bananas would just cost 6.2 million, and we'd solve everything, right?
Craig, does DA have a point? In Zimbabwe, is everyone a millionaire?
Well, they've tried this. Yeah, there's been many countries where everyone's a millionaire, and it costs $13 million for 4 grapes, right?
But
there you
this
go.
time,
Sounds like a utopia.
But this time it's different because I'm saying they buy the bananas with crypto.
And it retains its value wherever that may be.
I don't know, but then we turn the crypto into dollars and pay off the debt.
Here's the one calculation we're not realizing. The US dollar is the basis for the world economy. So when the Fed crashes, then what?
Allie, are you aware of they call them SHIT coins? Are you familiar with the concept? The crypto, the really weak crypto coins.
I have to be honest, I don't really understand crypto. It confuses me.
Good.
So,
You're just like everybody
no.
else. So here's what I'm saying. We create a new coin, a new shit coin called the banana.
Banana.
Yep.
The banana coin.
Yep. DA, would this work? What do you think we could get for it?
I don't know, but I'm wondering, like if everyone's a billionaire, who's the enemy for Bernie Sanders to rant about? And
the trillionaires.
Can he pronounce it?
The trillionaires.
No, it'd be higher than that, wouldn't it?
The quadrillionaires.
Yeah, yeah.
Allie, what's above a quadrillionaire?
We,
don't know.
we time this right for the Optimus android and those Chinese androids, because if those aren't really fully functional and autonomous and able to do human labor, we're in a big trouble. Because it's either going to be this or it's going to be that asteroid Psych. What was it, Psych 32 or Psych 23? The one where if they potentially mine that, they could give every person on the planet like $1 billion each. That's how much money is on that asteroid.
They could give everybody a big lump of gold, and then the
Yeah.
price of gold would drop to the point where you'd have gold covering everything, but there would still be the same amount of sandwiches in the world.
I'd have
Allie,
teeth.
that's right. Yeah, we all have grills. We'd all have grills.
His glasses would be gold.
That's right. Allie, is there any kind of weird karma to the universe that if Craig's theory is correct and that the end summit of NASA is that we find gold-filled meteorites, that everything becomes like Trump Tower, gilded with gold, like everywhere, gold everywhere.
Outer
Is
space
that- is that-
scares me. I don't know. Is this an Elon Musk thing?
Yeah.
I keep.
He's
I'm
one
I'm a little distracted because I feel like your banana coin would be accused of being racist by someone. I'm sure.
Well, it's phallic. So
I
it's,
don't know.
Yeah.
Or misogynistic. It could be either of those. I don't know.
I can
Maybe
see
you should
that,
try
but-
different fruit. That's
But
less
it gets soft real fast,
scary.
so it all bounces out.
It's shaped like a phone. That might scare a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, banana phone.
That's right.
The Gen Z people would have real troubles, right?
I feel like this has problem written all over it.
All right. She's gonna steer us clear for another harebrained idea that someone wisely steers me away from. Okay,
Yes.
Craig, next slide.
You almost
Now-
had me with that banana coin. I don't know. I'm interested.
So I could not
It'll make more
let.
money than Hawk Tua.
There you go.
I think somebody made like a lot of money on the Haktua, but I think it was the Haktua chick. Okay. I could not let this opportunity pass. The topic of bananas, I had to call out what I think is one of the greatest lines in all of cinema. In Woody Allen's 1971 movie, Bananas, Woody Allen, the character, he finally gets this girl to his apartment, and he one of his lines is, "If you're hungry, I can open up a can of ribs if you want." I don't know why that is so funny. The mental cartoon image in my head of a can of ribs and a bachelor pad and just in New York, a small little apartment. It's just hilarious.
Was that the one where he left the books out like half read? He like
yes. Before the date came over, he staged the apartment to make it look like he was
just
quite the
reading
intellectual.
everywhere.
Yeah. He prepared some quotes from Schopenhauer and so forth. Yes. Allie, are you a fan of Woody Allen?
I can't say I've ever seen a Woody Allen movie.
Okay, watch
right.
this one.
Watch Bananas and then watch.
See,
go ahead.
I don't like bananas. First of all, they taste terrible and they have like a weird film. But also, you just reminded me of the most pretentious apartment that I've ever been in my life, and I had like a weird PTSD flashback to it, where it was in LA. It was the first time and the last time I visited LA, and my friend's like, "We'll go to the Fashion District," and I was like, "Oh, cool. What's that?" Okay, well, apparently it's where all the pretentious people are. And we go up to this insanely high skyscraper apartment building. And there were no, there was no elevator. So we had to just walk for years up this. And everything inside was pure white. Like it was all very, very white inside there. So it made me really uncomfortable because I don't like being in a pure white area. It's weird. We go into this apartment and this guy is like, "I'm an artist." And I look around and his art consists of and I don't even know how he managed to get it up there, a King Super shopping cart in the corner that was filled with little boxes, like, I don't know. He had plastered the boxes with each side had a picture of a banana. And he piled up the boxes inside the shopping cart, like artistically, I guess. And I can never get that image out of my head because it was the most pretentious thing that I had ever seen in this pure white apartment. And he's like, look at my artwork.
No. That's a brilliant, scathing indictment of consumerism. That's brilliant.
How did the place?
Well, it just felt stupid at the time.
Did it smell like urine, feces, or lubricant?
He was of the alphabet persuasion, but I don't remember what it smelled like in there.
So Ali, I'm giving you a homework assignment. It's for 2025. In the year 2025, I want you to watch the movie Take the Money and Run. It's a Woody Allen movie. It's his first movie. Take the Money and Run. Do me a favor, not knowing anything about Woody Allen, watch that movie, and then you can maybe come back on the Friday nights when your book launches and say, my book is launching. Oh, well, by the way, I watched Take the Money and Run. Here's what I thought. Will you do that as your homework assignment?
Sure. I'm even going to write it down.
Write it down.
It's
Take
not
the
about
Money and Run,
bananas.
Woody Allen.
Yeah.
What's that?
And it's not about bananas.
No, not about bananas.
Oh, swell. Is that the... So I've seen a single clip, I think, of a Woody Allen movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Gundam always shows it on his channel where this guy like washes his hands and then walks out a window. Is that Woody Allen or is that something else?
that is a Woody Allen movie, and that one is that one's like a later movie, and basically the guy's wife leaves him, and so he walks out the window, but he lands on another woman and marries her. So, but that is a Woody Allen clip. Yeah.
Okay,
but
well, I'll
is
take that as my homework, I guess.
Right, nice, I love it. These are the kind of open-minded people we like to have on the show. People who are willing to embrace a challenge, who grab life by the throat. Thank you, Ali. Okay,
I wouldn't say I'm embracing, but I'm accepting quietly.
Well, you're not cowering in the corner like a Gen Z person with a ringing phone. So this is good.
No,
I'm thinking Bananas. The sequel to Bananas is upcoming in Canada.
It is. Yes.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So in the movie
They're
Bananas,
making a sequel like 50 years later.
So in the movie Bananas, it's an analogy. It's an analogy for Cuba, as you can see. He's got the Castro beard, but as everybody but Justin Trudeau knows, his dad is Fidel Castro. Craig,
yeah,
is the case closed on that now?
He won't submit his DNA. That's the one part. He won't do it.
Someone needs to get a
coffee cup.
I feel like that means he knows.
Can they get some DNA off the kids?
That's got to be my life mission. Can I get some of Justin Trudeau's DNA and find out the truth? Yeah.
Get him on paternity court.
Yeah, Maury Povich comes. We're gonna send Maury
He's been
Povich
leaving his
Canada.
DNA all over Canada for 9 years. You'd think somebody would have it by now.
Oh my gosh.
Blech.
All right, I think there's one more slide that covers the theory about this pagan offering of bananas. Yes, it is. This is the traditional offering for Banana Claus. Ali, do you think is this sus or is this legit?
Did you make that with AI?
I did. Yes.
Then it is sus, as the kids say.
All right. Very good. All right, Craig. I think we got. Where was our third topic?
Okay, so our third and final topic for this evening. By the way, we're 1 hour in and we have 24 watching us on a Friday night. Thank you so much. Final topic for tonight also comes from New York Post. Bride and groom can't agree on their wedding size and style, so they're having separate his and her ceremonies. So I looked into this. Okay, so they call that a stag and doe. Like, what's wrong with these people? You're not reinventing anything. But when it comes to the actual marriage, there are kind of rules in place. You have to have someone presiding who's legally has the authority to ordain a marriage. You have to have the two people being married and a witness. That's pretty much the standard norm. However, and I don't want to get too much into religious specifics, there are segments of the Muslim world where they're actually quite happy with doing marriages over the internet without a proper ceremony, but that's because they consider the bride like selling cattle sort of thing, and it doesn't even need to be present. That's the only exception I found.
DA, help me out. If you get married twice, do you have to pay double alimony?
Well, I mean, I think at the root here, it's ultimately a legal contract and I have to wonder if like maybe to make generalizations, but I've heard some things about people in in their 30s right now, and maybe the problem is too much familiarity. When the best man, well, maybe there's four best men. They might be very familiar with the bride, so it allows them to separate and avoid that awkwardness. I mean,
that sounds legit. Ali, is this yet another degradation of the sacred tradition of marriage? The sacred tradition of marriage that we've lived in this country, where people get married twice, and when they do, it's to two different people. Is this going against that tradition? I mean, people get married twice.
Wait, they're getting married to two different people?
Everyone has a failed marriage.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the way it's been. That's the way it's been.
That's right.
I was just looking more into it to see if there's something special about it or something. Because I could see maybe if you I don't know, maybe if you have family that's in another country that can't come here, and so you go and you have a thing over there for your family just so that it's special, and then you have one here. I could see that, but this is saying that the bride wants a bougie destination wedding that's 7 hours away in the mountains, and the groom wants his closer to home with a ton of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have 2 gift registries, and they want family to go to both.
Yep.
Yeah, this is just a contract.
Yeah. So if you were a marriage counselor, what would you tell these people? What's their issue?
I would tell them that they're not getting married. They're not. So I've actually talked with my grandma about this a lot. She was married 60 years to my grandpa, all the way up until he died, from when she was 15 years old and he was 18. And they got married because she got pregnant, and then they had 6 kids, and they stayed together. And so I take a lot of lessons about that sort of thing from her. And she would say that these people are not starting out yoked together. How you would have two cattle on the same yoke when they're plowing the field, and she would say they're not starting out yoked together; they're unevenly yoked. They're coming into this as 2 separate narcissists, and not in the mindset of we're a unit now. Not even a team, not a partner. You're a unit now, so you don't have you go into that now thinking it's not just about me. That's why I've never liked I've never even liked the his and hers hand towels thing, because it's now ours.
Yeah.
So Craig,
amen.
Craig, is this where Dr. Phil says it's not about me, it's about we?
Right.
Yeah. I hate Dr. Phil, but I agree.
Dr. Phil, hey, Dr. Phil's coming around. He's the Oprah influence is getting off of Dr. Phil. He's coming around.
Well, is hate really his problem, or is it your problem?
I'd say hair loss is his problem, but that's not my fault.
Everybody remember, Dr. Phil had the self-confidence and the lack of self-awareness to put out a diet book.
But I would say this is more.
It happened.
This is more an attempt to just be outrageous, to get attention-seeking behavior. What strikes me is these aren't serious people at all. They're not serious.
It's funny that people say that they just want attention and stuff, because I can't find any article that mentions their names.
Right.
So is it even? I don't even see an Instagram link or a TikTok thing. So do they want attention or not? Are they even real? Honestly, is this even real?
On the Friday nights, we put that below the water line, so we stay out of court. This is our 70-something show. We have not been sued yet, so we try to but we're very careful, very careful.
I haven't even gotten struck yet. I came close. I had someone ask me to take something down.
They won't let us. They block us in Russia, and what's the other country?
That's a good question. What was the other one? I don't know. Russia for sure, though. Russia.
Somewhere where they cut your hand off. I can't remember.
That's right.
That's funny.
One of those. What
What a
else?
good
This
show.
countries.
And wasn't Canada, right?
But this is idiotic.
We all
They're
agree.
not gonna last.
No.
I think they'll be divorced. Because
And
what are they gonna do?
so-
Split their house up,
Yeah.
into? I mean, Tim Burton did that
That's
with
just the same thing.
with his wife.
But-
They split their house in half, and each of them had like a kitchen on this side and a kitchen on that side, and each kid had a room in each house. And guess what? They split up because they started out split up. They weren't even ever together.
Can you do a his and her divorce?
Isn't that kind of what they do?
Yes.
I think it's
I think the judge. I think it's always like the judge divorce. I don't know. Maybe in this queer crypto world, you can have a his and hers divorce. I don't know. Maybe we just created a new chapter. I mean, we maybe just invented a new body of law. DA,
You
what
should
do you
treat it
what
like
do
a TV show where you got 30 seconds to grab everything you can.
you think? Yeah, that's right. Supermarket dash.
Rush through.
DA, what were you thinking?
Oh, I think this man is it. He's probably laughing it up, but in divorce court, odds are against him. So, maybe
Well, and how confusing would this be if they had kids? It would just make it so much more difficult. Like imagine having both parents that are narcissists. That just sounds just so tiring. Like those kids are going to be crazy too. And
Mommy, I
the person at the bottom says, "Sorry,
Mommy, I skinned my knee. You're his son."
Yeah, exactly.
Go talk to
Or that even happens in Lion King where they say like, "Oh, before sunrise, that's your son." Like that. That's terrible.
Well,
But my sister-in-law is just a teeny bit bonkers and has thrown temper tantrums over it already. I really like Bridezillas. That show pleases me. I think this belongs there, but I think they'll be divorced. I would give it 6 months to a year to just being nice.
They should just put a timeout on it. Just plan for it to be over in 2 years.
Well, it's mostly doomed because the groom hasn't learned those 2 words, right? Yes, dear. Right, clearly.
No. Absolutely not.
I'm thinking there's pegging involved, and that doesn't lead to pregnancy. So
No. It's not happy wife, happy life. It's happy spouse,
No.
happy house.
There you go. Nice. Love it. Put that on.
He needs to put his foot down and say, look, we're not having 2 weddings. It's too much money. We can take aspects of both of us and put both of us into the ceremony or else nothing. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even marry her.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Because this was all probably her idea.
Love it. All right. This is a cold, after a long week, this is a cold, refreshing dose of reality. Thank you, Allie. Thank you. All right. So Allie, I recall your Egg Beaters book. I know that.
Yep.
And I
It's
have watched
just singular.
Egg Beater.
Mhm.
And I've watched you with Rini when you guys will do your streams together. But for those people watching who maybe are new to you, kind of introduce yourself, talk about some of your, talk about yourself a little bit, and then we'll call up the sign up page.
Okay. Well, my name's Allie. Now I'm thrown off because this is usually the opposite way.
I
I'm a writer and an editor of books and comics. I currently am working on a comic book that's a horror slasher comedy called Egg Beater. I don't have a campaign page open for it right now, but it will be upcoming on Fund My Comic. And it is over halfway done now. So that's pretty cool. And it's about a mad baker. And I just today talked with my friend who was the inspiration for Egg Beater. He called me out of the blue and he gave me an idea for another way that someone could die. So I have to fill that in at the last minute. It's going to be sick. So as far as comics, that's where I am. When it comes to books, I have a lot of stuff going on, but the main one is a fantasy novel without pictures, but I'm hoping that I'll have an art book to go with it. That is called The Rotting Crown. So because that's my thing and my obsession, and I've always wanted to be a writer ever since I was 6 years old. And I read Eric Carle, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. That's basically what I focus my show around when I'm not talking about my terrible opinions on pop culture. I'm talking about writing and world building and, you know, tips that can maybe help people. My show with Rainey is probably one of my favorites, just because her and I can just kind of sit there and geek out and answer questions and help people out. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So the link to your sign up, by the way, is pinned to the top of the chat. So we have 29 watching. If you can, go to the top of the chat on my YouTube. You can click right there and you can click the sign up. As well as we just put the link to your YouTube as well. So same thing in the chat. If
Thank
people
you.
please head over to her YouTube channel, subscribe. It means everything to creators. Again, I get 1 or 2 new subscribers. I'm over the moon. It really makes my day. And
It is pretty great.
Yeah. So
even just one, you're just like, yes, awesome.
Yes.
Someone cares.
Yes. So for your sign up, I'm gonna bring up your sign up here as well. Can you would you like to talk about what they get for the previews? What it is?
For
It says there's previews. Hold on.
Okay, yeah. So every once in a while there will be the word went out of my head, a newsletter, and that will have previews from any one of my books, because I don't just have The Rotting Crown and Egg Beater. I also have a kids like drawing art book series that is it has art prompts in it, and then a blank page where they can like write what the prompt is or draw what the prompt is. I have a series of that, and I have a kids book that is a supernatural book that they're all going to be coming out soon. So the idea is I will send out free previews for every once in a while, and little art things, and links to what's it called? I'm getting tired now.
Yeah.
Deals on merch and books and everything, and stuff that I just don't put on my Twitter, and that'll all be in the newsletter that I send out. So basically, yeah, here's some of my books. The Rotting Crown is still upcoming. Wild Men is finished, but I'm having problems with the printer right now. I have a bunch of stuff that I have 2 things that I have to fix that they're mad about, and I've been going back and forth with them, but that is coming soon. Egg Beater will be on Fund My Comic, and The Haunting of Bonneville Manor, that's the middle grade kids book that I wrote because I realized my kid can't read any of my stuff. So yeah, I'm doing a lot. I have mythology books that are mostly like Norwegian stuff. I'm working with a lot of people. Oh, there's a rockabilly guy that I'm ghostwriting his memoirs right now as well. So I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm still available for editing commissions.
Yes.
Smash the like.
And again, as a creator myself, I can't stress enough how important it is to hire an editor. That's the one step you do not want to skip as a writer. I'm scatterbrained when I write for my comic. Like, I'm a Jacob Tutu.
I don't believe it.
Yes, I will write the same thought 3 different ways and think that it sounds like it makes sense. So Red Valkyrie actually do the editing for me for my book, and they're really great editors. But yeah, I absolutely would not be where I was without really good editors critiquing everything that I'm doing and tearing it apart. So,
well, I'll even do proofreading. And I understand a lot of people, especially in indie, are really, married to their work and they don't want to have someone come in and tell them to change stuff. I understand. So I'll even do proofreading to make sure that when your book comes out, it doesn't have errors in it that make it look unprofessional. Because I can't finish a book that has an error in it. I've gotten so many comics that have an error and I have to put it away. I haven't finished.
Kind of like that.
I got a comic this year, had like three black pages. I mean, it was like nothing.
That was for kids to write on. Didn't you just
But-
were you paying attention?
I think people
Oh.
don't realize, though, they don't appreciate, like, if you're reading the comic and you get to those word bubbles and the writing doesn't make sense and it's not the way someone would flow with the conversation, how much that takes you out. Like, this did what you think would happen there, not really. Like, what the hell is going on? That's it. I'm completely out of the story now, and I'm trying to.
Well,
figure
for me, even if it's a misplaced comma or something, I'm just like, it just irks me, and I have this strange ability to find all of the problems and I point them out. I've done it on people's campaign pages, live. I'll just be like, "Hey, that's wrong," and they'll be like, "I didn't even notice that. I'll go change it." I'm like, "Good." 'Cause
Okay,
I'm
I
about
have
to freak
to
out.
ask which style guide? AP or Chicago?
Chicago.
Okay. That's important.
I can do anything if people want it because I did study it all, but I prefer Chicago style guide.
Is there any of these books available for sale right now anywhere, like Amazon or anything?
Not currently,
Okay.
no. But like I said, Egg Beater will have a Fund My Comic page up soon,
Okay.
and as soon as the printer has approved the choices or the changes they're having me make, I mean I have it's over here now.
So, Allie,
I have approved that they approved, which is totally insane. It's beautiful. As I scoot up of Wildman, they approved it and everything. You know,
Okay.
it's got
Nice
the
for-
thing,
to,
but
give you full screen here. Hold on. Okay, here you go. Yep. Oh, nice.
yeah, see, it's
Oh, wow.
gorgeous and nice hardcover.
That's a beautiful
The
book.
soft cover one, I decided I was never going to print again. It's beautiful. Smells nice.
Great.
You know, I sign every copy on the inside if people want that, but if they don't, then I don't. But I was so annoyed. I was like, I ordered a proof. It's all approved. What is wrong? And they just didn't like a couple little things, so I have to reformat the whole thing and resubmit it. It's quite annoying.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that's what the newsletter will be for, so that people can get updates on when exactly they can get it. But though this one you can get right now, that one's on my Etsy, and yeah, Imagination Canvas, which is all the drawing prompts for kids. That one's just, it's straight up rhymes, and the kids can draw on the other
Nice.
side.
Oh, cool.
And I did that because I was trying to find a drawing prompt book for my kid, and I couldn't find anything that was more than just draw a happy cat, draw a silly monkey. And I was like, that's boring to kids now who are on, you know, they have internet brain. So I thought I would make it more fun. So yeah, you can get that right now.
Nice.
so promise you'll come back when the GoFundMe, when the Fund My Comic launches. You'll promise
Yeah,
you, on
absolutely.
your tour you'll come back, okay?
Yeah,
I'm trying-
absolutely. I'm trying to go with all the cool places that Vaughn has outlined, because it is important that we kind of expand our reach and everything as a community in whole.
Well, I thought the whole point, I keep saying, I thought the whole point of this was we were all supposed to have our own YouTube channels, build our own audiences. And every time one of us launches, we just, we do the tour.
Make the
And
rounds.
basically
Yeah.
everyone's YouTube channel is like doing like a concert, so to speak, to all the individual audiences. And you just make the tour. And that's
And
what
I'm more than happy to host people as well.
Good deal.
appreciate.
All right. Well, so Allie, thank you for hanging out with us. We've got 20 people watching live. Thank you for starting your weekend with us, hanging out with us, and sharing some laughs. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Craig, who's our guest next week?
Yeah. Oh boy. Next week I have Paul Thainer.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, yep. Very good. Very good. He's a good guy.
Yep.
I'm curious to talk to him. All right. Any DA? Any parting words of wisdom for the weekend?
I just have to say, it's good for you, Ali, for doing what you always wanted to do. I actually wanted to be a writer my whole life, and maybe it'll still happen. Who knows? But you're doing it, and that's just awesome.
Well, I have to.
Yeah.
I can't not.
Yes.
Perfect. That's the best description of an artist, someone who can't not be one. So fantastic. All right, Craig, I've got no idea what kind of crazy outro you have planned for us. So everybody out there, buckle in. This man walks a tightrope of YouTube cancellation. It's off the rails. It's scary. What Evel Knievel would risk his life at every stunt. This man is risking his YouTube channel on every outro. I have no idea what's going to happen.
That's right. All right.
Well, I hope this isn't the one.
Yeah, that's right.
But thank you again for joining us, Ali. And please just let me know about a month before your campaign sort of launches. I try to keep our guest list only 4 or 5 guests. I don't want to book out 2 or 3 months. I found that you do that, and someone's like, my campaign's over by then. So, but yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me on. This has been really fun.
No, thank you. And we have 31 watching as well. Thank you again for joining us. And yeah, here's my craziness leading into your weekend. And have a great weekend, everyone.
Stepping on a banana peel gives you a 90% chance of falling and dying. You see, scientists discovered banana peels are twice as slippery as ice, releasing a special gel that makes them 5 times more dangerous than a wooden floor. In fact, a man who survived plunging over Niagara Falls later died from slipping on a fruit peel.
Stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses, you right to jail. You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world. Because of jail.
And choices we got in life, those were your choices. Who shot who?
Come on, Lo.
Somebody got shot?
Lo, you good, Lo?
I hope.
If you're planning to get married by the Justice of the Peace, there are different steps to be taken than if you were planning a traditional wedding. What you need. When you decide to get married at the courthouse, you might be wondering what you need to bring with you. Here is a checklist of things you'll need. State-issued driver's license or IDs, birth certificates, social security numbers, at least 2 witnesses, one for the bride and one for the groom, money to pay the associated fees, and the marriage license.
So as long as I live, I love you. Will have and hold you. You
Hello? What? Minnie Mays? Who's gay? Hello? What?
Can you hear me now?
Kind of.
Wait
Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
The state of the vote for the President of the United States, as delivered to the President of the Senate, is as follows. The whole number of the electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, the majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
With breakfast. Your spirit. Oh, your buddy.
Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but then I know it's growing strong. Wasn't the spring, and spring became a summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Touching hands, reaching out, touching me.